Welcome back. A little earlier I spoke to the boss of Ryanair, Michael O'Leary, and obviously times are bad for travel and airlines, but I wanted to know just how bad.
I think it's fair to say, Robert, it's never been worse. We operated at about 50% of our schedule through August, September. We expect to operate only 40% of our schedule into October. And at the moment, November and December look like they're booking at around 10% of our normal volumes. And that's a number that's repeated across most of the European and the UK airline industry. We have never seen such awful forward bookings.
I mean, I've noticed that your share price has been relatively strong compared to many. How bad is it going to be for the industry, though? How many airlines are we going to lose?
It depends on what governments do. I mean, the European Union has come up with a very sensible travel plan, which they hope to roll out from the 13th of October. That would allow most people to travel between the EU countries and the UK on a regional basis. It would open up the regions of about 21 or 27 EU countries. But if we stick to the current UK scheme where the government adds Portugal one week, takes it off the next week, adds Greece, takes it off, business people going away for weekends can't make any bookings with confidence without having their plans disrupted. I think it will be worse than we have ever seen before.
I mean, but you've seen what's been announced by the Prime Minister over the last 24 hours. Do you think anybody is going to be thinking about making any kind of travel plans given the current uncertainties?
I don't think, to be honest, anybody can make travel plans with any certainty. I mean, what we need is certainty. The Europeans are at least trying to bring some certainty from about the middle of October onwards. We need this done on a regional basis, not national basis. So fine, you may not travel to Lisbon because the COVID rates are high in Lisbon, but you can still go to Faro because in the Algarve the rates are low. We need something much more sensible like that. The airlines themselves are following extensive health guidelines, as are the airports, masks, hand sanitisation. Flying is safe, but governments need to create an environment where people can make these bookings, particularly for business and for family occasions, with some degree of confidence. And at the moment, that's not there.
And so what you would like to see from this government is, I mean, obviously we know, for example, COVID rates in the northwest are relatively very high at the moment, but you would like people to have more flexibility, I don't know, in London where they're a bit lower at the moment. Is that really what you're saying?
The ECDC, which the UK provides figures to the European Centre for Disease Control, will be publishing on a weekly basis the COVID case rates on a regional basis. So, for example, London may have a spike up in cases and may not be accessible, but Manchester or Newcastle or Scotland, for example, could be. It needs to be done on a regional basis because experience to date is that most of the COVID case rates that are rising in recent weeks are taking place in built-up cities, not in tourist destinations like the beaches of Spain or in Italy.
Now, you, I think, are one of those people who think that there should be testing facilities at airports, but, I mean, this government, British government, doesn't have any confidence in that.
I mean, the problem is the British government doesn't have any competence, never mind confidence. You know, the example we point to all the time is that the Italians and the Germans have been allowing flights, intra-EU air flights, since the 1st of July, and have managed to keep their COVID case rates down at around 20 per 100,000. In the UK, for example, the government is mismanaging the situation. They've limited the number of flights people can take, and yet you're seeing huge outbreaks of COVID case rates here in the UK because you don't have an effective test and tracing system. Boris Johnson promised us a world-leading test and tracing, and like most of his promises, it's turned out to be vacuous and completely undeliverable.
Now, when you were last on the programme, you pointed out that you'd taken a very big pay cut, but I noticed that your board has just awarded you a bonus of not far off £500,000. Are you going to give that away?
No, I mean, that was for the past year, which ended in March of 2020, essentially before the COVID thing broke out. My bonus was cut in half. It was $1 million in the previous year, and I have taken a 75% pay cut this year as well. So I have taken the biggest pay cut of anybody in Ryanair. Admittedly, I'm very well paid. I should lead from the front. But no, I won't be giving back the bonus that's already been cut in half.
And I know you said there were logistical problems in getting refunds to people, but has everybody who needs it or has asked for a refund, have they got it yet?
Oh, but yes, everybody now who has asked for requested a cash refund has received it as of the end of July, with the small exception of a number of people who we can't establish contact details with because they made bookings through these unlicensed screen scraper companies. Where we have your contact details and your payment details and not fake details provided by screen scrapers, those refunds have been processed.
And just final, very quick question, when do you think things will feel normal?
I think they won't be normal until we discover a vaccine, and clearly we as an industry hope that will be in the early part of next year. But in the meantime, we're calling on the UK government. We think APD should be scrapped. You shouldn't be taxing the few passengers who are travelling. We're playing our part. We're doing a huge buy one get one free seat sale all day tomorrow, Thursday. But the government needs to play its role. If Rishi Sunak can be providing 50% reductions for people going out eat out to help out, the first thing you should be doing is reducing the high APD tax on air travel to and from the UK.
As always, great to talk to you.
Thanks, Robert. Good to talk to you too.
All the best. Bye-bye.